Hi everyone, it's Miss Capri. I'm back. And I might start posting more again if I can come up with some good music recordings, but we'll see. Well, I was looking for a recording on my channel, and instead of going to my channel directly, I decided to do a search on YouTube just for Miss Capri Plays, and I thought, well, maybe I'll find some of my music there because I wanted to show someone at work my keyboard and how it sounds. So I did a search. Just imagine my bewilderment when I came across things like Miss Capri's Truth, what hidden truth, what the, and another one, Miss Capri, and a bunch of distraught face emojis. Really? Uh, then there was another one, something about Wednesday, talk to Miss Capri about the hide. I'm like, what the heck is going on here? So I had to check this out. Well, apparently there was a spin-off series from the Addams Family. There's quite a few sequels or spin-offs and whatnot. And this one is apparently a Netflix series just called Wednesday. And it started in 2022, and that's sort of when I went offline for a bit because I was horribly depressed. Because my mom had passed, and it took me years to get my strength back and start coming back and doing things again. So, so I disappeared at the kind of the wrong time. I should have been there to mangle this right from the start. But anyway, this Miss Capri, I guess that's her last name. Her first name is Isadora. That is not my name at all, but my first name is Capri. So, but it just feels weird seeing my name in a context like that. So, what I'm going to do is pick apart Miss Isadora's stuff. Got some samples of her voice here where she's talking to Wednesday on this one video. So here we go. I'm going to point some things out.
Wednesday. It's good to see you on your feet. Not many people can say they survived a heart attack.
That sounds pretty insincere. That does not. That doesn't sound like real surprise. Sounds more like smugness or something. And then Wednesday says something, and then she says,
Terry, you snooping my desk.
yeah, most people wouldn't like someone snooping in their desk, but I say go for it in this case. I wouldn't want people snooping through my stuff either, but, well, Isadora, that's what you get for what I believe is being part of the hide. And not only part of it, I'll explain that in a second.
I never knew Alfie's true nature.
Okay. Now you're going to try to cover your butt?
Only that we were happy together.
Well, that can turn bad pretty quick.
His master was in love with him too. She ordered him to kill me.
So this Alfie had a master? And this master was in love with him and she was so jealous that she wanted him to kill Isadora. Okay, messed up. From what I understand about the hides, the males have to have masters. Well, she explains that too.
Luckily, it was the full moon, so I was able to fight him off.
Full moon? What's okay? Oh, yeah, there was talk about her being a werewolf or something too, which is like really not cool. You're gonna have a werewolf? Don't call her Capri. Just don't. Ugh.
Alfie accidentally killed her in the process.
Oh, he killed his master. Wow. Okay, well, I guess she deserved it. This whole master stuff. Ugh.
It was horrible.
Yeah, she sounds all torn up about this, but I don't believe it. I'm not convinced. I think she's putting on a big act.
Males can't. They go crazy without one.
Talking about masters.
Psychosis, paranoia, rapid physical decline, ultimately premature death. But the females are stronger than the males, more dominant.
That explains everything, doesn't it? Because if she's part of the Hyde, yeah.
I mean, not that I know of.
Oh, well, I forget what Wednesday asked. Doesn't matter, I guess.
Who would be reckless enough to try?
Oh, what? Getting away from the master? Who would be reckless enough to try getting away from their master or living without a master? Well, I wouldn't call that reckless. I'd call that smart, but anyway.
I strongly recommend that you don't entertain the idea.
Entertain the idea of what? Being part of the Hyde? Yeah. And she's probably not saying this out of the goodness of her heart. She doesn't want Wednesday to discover the whole thing. Her whole involvement in this screwed up system.
Wednesday?
Okay, she's calling as Wednesday's walking away. Now listen to this last. She calls her name again. Listen to it. Just listen to how she calls it.
Wednesday!
That is a real dominator right there. Did you hear that tone of voice? Wednesday! Yeah, that's how somebody who is master of, or wants to be the master of pretty much everything would talk. Yeah. So she lost that little victim act thing right there. It was like if she said Wednesday's name firmly enough, Wednesday might just all of a sudden turn around and come back. But you know what? I think this Isadora Capri is not only part of the Hyde, I think she's the head honcho there. I mean, she said it herself, the females are stronger, the more dominant ones. Well, she's a female. She's linked up with the full moon somehow, which I think the Hyde are. There's some kind of outcasts that turn really wicked when they're triggered by some kind of trauma or some kind of chemical thing, or I don't know, but something makes them go crazy. And then the males, their Hyde nature manifests, that's when they start needing to have a master, and if they don't, they go nuts with a master, because if a master tells them to kill somebody, then that's what they do. Okay, I'm here and I've got my coffee, and the second video is fired up, as this is the one titled Miss Capri's Hidden Truth. So I'm going to have a few things to say when we go through this.
She only appears for a few minutes, but her presence casts doubt on things that seemed obvious.
Of course, otherwise there wouldn't be a story.
Is Miss Capri really just an ordinary teacher?
Of course not.
Or is this merely a facade hiding something far more dangerous?
Bingo. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
With the start of the new school year at Nevermore, new faces appear. One of them is Isadora Capri, the new head of the Academy's music department.
And they just had to go there? They had to make her, of all things, a music teacher? I'm not a music teacher, but I'm a musician. And as far as music goes, as far as character descriptions, I know she would beat the heck out of me as far as that. Because, well, just listen to what she says.
She's no ordinary figure. At just 10 years old, she composed an entire classical music album.
That's what I mean. And I don't compose music. I only, if you want to call it that, composed one thing that was kind of worth anything. And that was just a little 1 minute long waltz or something that. So basically she's The Hyde version of Mozart?
that brought her fame and recognition. But what made her suddenly return to Nevermore?
Okay, hang on. The fame and recognition thing? Oh, maybe that's in their setting, but why haven't I heard of her till now? Yeah, fame and no, she may be famous in the Addams Family story, but I didn't find out about her until coming across this series and her a few days ago. So here goes.
Is it exhaustion from the spotlight, a debt she has to repay, or perhaps there's unfinished business here, something she once swore to complete? From
I'm going to guess it's all three.
the moment Miss Capri first appears on screen, her special interest in Wednesday becomes clear. Even in their very first conversation, she drops subtle hints, pushing Wednesday to think more broadly, as if constantly testing her limits. When Wednesday is trying to find Enid but can't figure out which direction to think in, Miss Capri suddenly shows up, giving her a clue about musical notes.
Which direction to think in? What? Okay, that just sounds weird. And so then this Isadora, I really don't want to be calling her Miss Capri, shows up and gives her some hint about musical notes. What's that even got to do with direction? Makes no sense.
It could be written off as attentiveness or coincidence, but
I don't know. I think I'm going to call that creepy.
what happens next only deepens the feeling that behind her gentle smile lies something much more unsettling.
Of course it would, otherwise there wouldn't be a story.
One day, a sudden swarm of ravens descends on Nevermore. At first, Wednesday thinks their target is Enid, but within moments, the situation turns into complete chaos. In the midst of it, she spots a familiar figure in a black hood, the same one that's been stalking her all this time. Wednesday gives chase, but it's no use. The figure disappears, leaving behind a black cloak on the stairs. Determined not to give up, Wednesday follows the trail. To her surprise, the stairs lead to a room where she finds Willow Hill's chief psychiatrist, Rachel Fairburn, and moments later, Miss Capri enters, clearly out of breath, with the look of someone who has just been running from something.
Well, it's good to know that she can lose her breath, that she's not completely overpowered. Overpowered meaning given way too many powers that's like totally invincible. I don't like really invincible characters. So that's good to know. So she's got herself into some kind of trouble. I don't see the connection with the ravens and the figure, though.
Later, in Miss Capri's office, Wednesday notices a birdcage. Everything seems to point to one conclusion. Capri is the mysterious avian.
An avian? No, she's a Hyde.
But we know she's actually a shapeshifter, and
Oh, a shape-shifting Hyde, okay.
even Rachel, upon hearing the sound of a car, says it's Jody, the director of the psychiatric hospital, who, as we later find out, is the true avian.
Okay, so is Jody responsible for the ravens then, probably?
So it's unlikely Miss Capri is another avian.
Okay.
Yet, her behavior still raises plenty of suspicion. When Wednesday visits Tyler, he admits he's in a special ward built for a schizophrenic shapeshifter.
Which is probably Isadora.
Went on a killing spree in the summer of 1992.
Oh, okay. But she's only been around since 2022.
But what if that shapeshifter was Miss Capri herself?
That wasn't me. I don't shapeshift, and I certainly don't go around killing people.
And she once underwent treatment at Willow Hill.
Nope, never did. No such place.
Maybe Stonehurst, or Jody herself, helped.
Probably Jody.
Tame this power.
Um, really? Hang on. How did shape-shifting powers, how did that become supposedly wild and become killing powers? That doesn't make much sense.
At what cost? Could Wednesday now be headed toward the same fate? We've already seen her powers fail her, and how far she's willing to go to get them back.
I've noticed that about this series, what I've read about it. Everybody seems to be obsessed with powers. Give me a break.
Even defying her own mother, all for one goal, to save Enid. The
Save Enid from what?
strange moments don't stop there. Miss Capri arrives at Willow Hill, where she plays music for the patients, and that's when chaos erupts. What if it was caused by the very melody she was playing?
Of course. Of course it would be. Yeah. What other conclusion could there be?
Even more unsettling is that the piece was called Zombie.
That's not unsettling, that's just cheesy. And I went and looked up that piece. Meh. It is not Rachmaninoff, it's not Mozart, it is not Chopin. It just sounds like it's a little bit better than the stuff that Ed Cullen played in the Twilight soundtrack, but not by much.
During the chaos, she suddenly vanishes from the frame.
Of course she does. Like, oh, brother. Oh.
And that's exactly when August Stonehurst and Rachel Fairburn are killed.
Oh, really? So she vanishes from some scene somewhere and all of a sudden a couple of people are killed, or things, or whatever they are. Oh, brother. Coincidences. More really annoying things that show up in these sort of fantasy things. There's coincidences everywhere that, well, it just doesn't happen in real life that way. How come all these coincidences such an epidemic in stories like this?
Don't believe these deaths were accidental.
Of course they weren't.
Perhaps Jody persuaded Capri to carry out the act.
I would have thought that it was the other way around.
Gain full control over patient decisions or simply to take revenge.
Well, either way, I don't know. Probably revenge, probably to take over the patients. Who knows?
Strange how much she idolizes her father.
Who, Jody or Isadora?
Yet at the same time, August sits in the very same cage he once built for his own daughter.
Wait, what? He built, okay, a father who built a cage for his kid? I can see a father building a cage for a kid's pet. Like my brother had rabbits. They built a cage for his rabbits. They didn't build a cage for him. When I got my first rabbit in my teens, they built the cage for that rabbit. They didn't build it for me. So this, what she's saying, it sounds like she's saying that this father built a cage for his own daughter, as if she should be in it. That's messed up, people.
Looking back at all 4 episodes, one question won't leave my head. If Miss Capri can control through music, why not choose easier targets?
What? In the first place, you can't choose targets by music because everybody's affected by music differently. It doesn't matter whether they're stronger or weaker or what. It all depends on how whatever music impacts them. And why choose easier target? Why not choose easier targets? Well, why choose easier targets? If you do that, that just makes you look like a power-crazed drip. Makes you look like a bully. Which I think she's trying not to look like a bully, but she actually is.
Why not influence the headmaster of Nevermore, or even Wednesday herself? Perhaps it's because her power only works on inanimate objects.
Oh, that's nice to know. Hey, guess what? You can't affect me with your music because I'm sentient. So there, take that, Isadora.
That could explain why, right after her first appearance, Wednesday's musical instrument suddenly malfunctioned, or
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wednesday plays the cello, if I'm not mistaken.
The strange raven with the sick eye, seemingly long dead, that spies on Wednesday and then flies toward the campsite, just as Miss Capri lifts her gaze to the sky.
I see no connection there. The idea of a raven with a sick eye that was long dead, just, ugh, ugh, just, ew, ugh. Oh, gross.
But what if Isadora Capri's motive is something else entirely?
Yeah, like she's part of the Hyde and she wants to control and dominate everybody and everything. That's what it's all about.
Maybe she was once close to the Lois curators, but at some point decided to stop them. It's suspicious that Tyler Galpin's father suddenly gets access to so much secret information.
Seems to me there's a whole lot of treachery going on there.
As if someone planted it for him.
Yeah, probably.
Could this mean Miss Capri is playing a double game?
It could mean Miss Isadora is playing a double game. Oh yeah, I'm sure she is. She's playing whatever side she can so that she can get whatever advantage she can over everybody. That's what it's all about for things like her. Here's another one.
8 hidden details. In Wednesday, Season 3, Wednesday continues to get darker and more twisted. Season 3 reveals secrets that reshape the Addams Family universe and set the stage for Season 4.
There's only one universe. I prefer to use the word setting rather than universe. Oh, and I just jumped to the part about Miss Isadora Capri. Here we go.
In Season 3, fans have developed a chilling theory about Miss Capri.
Not about me. Isadora.
Though she appears calm and caring, there's
Appears? No, I don't just appear that way.
darker truth beneath the surface.
No, not in this case.
Some believe she's a hybrid,
A hybrid of a werewolf and an outcast, probably.
half werewolf, half Hyde.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, because it looks that way.
Which could explain her strange connection to both Enid and Tyler.
Well, I don't really know for sure I know that Tyler's a Hyde. I'm not sure who or what Enid is.
Her encouraging words to Enid about late bloomers becoming alphas.
All this alpha stuff is bull crap anyway. And yeah, she's an alpha Hyde. That's what she is.
Might actually be subtle manipulation. Every scene with Miss Capri carries quiet tension.
Yeah, I know. Not me though. Miss Isadora. Huh. Yeah.
Miss Capri isn't just a background character.
I'm not a background character at all. I'm not any kind of, well, I'm a character, but I'm not I'm not the background character. I'm not a character in that show.
She might be the real threat hiding in plain sight.
Yes, Isadora, I'm pretty sure, is the real threat hiding in plain sight. And now here's the conclusion.
Miss Capri's long-term schemes and manipulations.
So she's a schemer and a manipulator. Something I am not. Miss Isadora is a schemer and a manipulator. And a couple years ago, I got out of a really bad relationship with a manipulator and schemer. Only I didn't know she was one. She wasn't quiet. She appeared innocent and kind of like pretty airheaded, but there was a lot there that I hadn't seen at first. But that's a subject for a different time.
combined with Grandmama Hester's secret knowledge and strategic interventions, reveal that the Addams family's internal dynamics are more complex than ever. What do you think awaits Wednesday next? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.
I like the narrator in this, and I like the music. I liked the narrator in the last video too, for that matter. Next one.
What if your favorite teacher was hiding claws beneath her charm?
The title of that video is Beware Isadora Capri, a Villain. Secrets Revealed. And yes, I would say there's more than claws hiding beneath that false charm of hers, or victimhood, or whatever it is.
Isadora Capri arrives at Nevermore Academy as the new head of music, a werewolf with a prodigy's past.
Which they just... Considering my aversion to canines, it just seems so contradictory to have a dog that's a musical prodigy. Well, werewolf, excuse me, but same diff as far as I'm concerned.
She seems like the mentor everyone needs.
Seems being the key word.
Look closer and you'll see a melody threaded with danger.
Yep.
From her razor-sharp banter with Wednesday to
Yeah. At least Wednesday, she's not an angel either, but at least she gives back as good as she gets.
that could pull Enid into a shadow she can't escape.
A shadow she can't escape, really? Oh, okay.
Isadora's song may be far deadlier than it sounds.
Except that it apparently doesn't have effects on anything but inanimate objects, according to the last video that I watched. Oh, anyway. Oh.
Stay with me, because
I think that's that zombie song in the back. It's just a bunch of banging, and yeah. It's definitely not Chopin.
decoding why she's the wolf you never saw coming.
Well, she revealed that she was a werewolf or something in season 2 when she was talking to Wednesday about how she was having to fight Alfie off because it was a full moon. Well, that's a were thing, isn't it?
And trust me, in Nevermore, the wrong tune can kill.
Well, well, that's about as bad as if looks could kill, isn't it?
If you are new to the channel, please subscribe and like the video because we will be coming with more deep dives and reveals. The Arrival. Former child prodigy, first classical album at 10 years old.
Yeah, I already covered that. I'm not impressed. She's still not Mozart.
Golden girl of the concert stage who suddenly traded worldwide fame for a teaching job at an outcast academy.
Well, it's like that other video said, there could be other things going on there. Worldwide fame? Why didn't I hear of her until a few days ago?
Sounds inspiring, right? But here's the thing. This is Nevermore. Nobody gives up that kind of life without a story. And Isadora's story is frustratingly vague. She sweeps into Wednesday's cello practice like she owns the place.
Yeah, typical Isadora. Because she is she's the head honcho of the Hyde. And they're all about dominance, at least the females are.
Telling her to lose control and play with abandon.
Ugh. Lose control? Yeah, lose control so that I can control you. That's what it's all about. I know, I suffered a few years of well, I don't want to call it a friendship. I don't even want to call it a relationship. An association with a narcissist, so I know what that's like. Ooh, she was always wanting me to lose control too, and she got really mad when she couldn't control me anymore. But that's a different story for a different time.
For Wednesday, who treats precision like a religion, that's basically heresy.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, sometimes there are some things that you just shouldn't mess with.
First exchanges, electric. Isadora meets Wednesday's cutting wit with her own, volleying sarcasm like it's a competitive sport.
Yeah, because she thinks she's so freaking cool.
And while the energy is intoxicating to watch, it plants the question, why is this woman so intent on breaking Wednesday's control?
Because she wants control over herself. That's why.
Mentor or manipulator?
Manipulator.
Isadora is exactly what Enid Sinclair has been craving, a fellow werewolf who understands the transformations.
Oh, so that's what Enid is. Okay.
Instincts, the constant balancing act of fitting in. She steps in as a mentor, helping Enid embrace her heritage after the struggles we saw back in season 1.
That sounds like a typical narcissist move.
Their bond feels real, supportive, creative, almost sisterly.
Feels being the key word, that doesn't mean it actually is.
But then there's the fixation on Wednesday.
Yeah, because Wednesday, Isadora probably sees Wednesday as some kind of rival.
Billie Piper herself teased that Isadora wants to be Wednesday's muse.
Okay. Wants to be her muse, wants to be everything to everybody. Oh.
Think about that. A muse doesn't just inspire, they shape the art, sometimes in ways the artist doesn't understand until it's too late.
Yeah, it's all about power and control.
Wednesday thrives on structure. Isadora pushes psychic power. And when chaos meets psychic powers, things can shatter.
Ugh, yeah, all this psychic stuff. Oh.
Add to that the fact that Isadora avoids questions about her past with a vague giving back to the community line.
Oh, how lame.
The pattern starts to look familiar. Nevermore has been burned by charming redheads before.
Oh. So she and I don't even look alike. That's cool.
Marilyn Thornhill, anyone? The hidden dangers. Isadora's danger is subtle. She's not kicking down doors or plotting in dark corners.
Yet.
At least, not where anyone can see.
But it was rumored that she went on a killing spree supposedly in 1992.
If she's connected to an outside werewolf pack, her presence at Nevermore could be a recruiting mission.
Yeah. And she could also be a Hyde, probably a combination of both.
Enid, eager for connection, might follow her right into a conflict with the school's fragile alliances. And Wednesday? Well, Isadora's encouragement to let go could put her on the same tragic path as her Aunt Ophelia.
Yeah, this whole let go, let loose. Oh.
Whose story is still whispered like a cautionary legend. The wrong moment of letting go could expose Wednesday's abilities to enemies who would weaponize them.
Yeah, which is probably what Isadora is planning.
Her background is too neat, her reasons for leaving the spotlight too clean. Maybe she's a reformed villain.
Or maybe she's just simply a villain who was never reformed.
Maybe she's tied to the asylum escape subplot.
That's possible.
Or to threats brewing in Jericho. Whatever it is, her moves in the mid-season finale leave just enough unease to make you wonder, is she building trust just to tear it apart later?
Yep.
What to watch for in Part 2. When Part 2 lands on September 3rd, keep an eye on the quiet moments, the ones that last a beat too long. Watch for scenes where she's alone with Enid, the kind of conversations that could change loyalty with a few words.
Which is exactly what she wants everyone to be loyal to her.
Look for old photographs or records that mention a specific pack name. And pay attention to any moment where her advice to Wednesday comes right before something terrible happens.
Yeah, because she'll be setting her up. That's what that's all about.
Those are the pressure points. Conclusion, the wolf's tune. Isadora Capri is the storm you don't hear coming.
Well, I've heard of narcissists being described as storms, or at least what they do to people being described as storms. So that fits.
Beautiful, talented, and possibly catastrophic.
I wouldn't call her beautiful.
She might save Enid. She might be the reason Wednesday finally loses control.
Yeah, which would all be in her control. And then this whole saving Enid thing. Look at me, I'm the hero. Yeah, narcissists do that too.
Or she could be the unseen hand pushing both of them toward disaster.
Yep, exactly.
So, ally or adversary?
Adversary. She's only looking out for herself.
Drop your take in the comments. I want to know if you trust her or if you're
No,
already bracing for a twist.
I wouldn't trust her any further than I could throw her. Isadora. Yeah. Not trustworthy at all. Yeah, she needs to be exposed for the controlling monster that she is. The other video didn't have much content. It just said Miss Capri, and I'm like, what? And then there was some music. I don't know. There's not much going on there. But, well, that's it. Anyway, talk to you guys later.